Hey everyone,
What
might
you
be
got,
time
bro?
to update that video for 2023. I think we've had a lot of new comics since the last time we put that one up there.
Put Jess to work.
Welcome to Marvel Time issue number 104. I am Mac. That's the big cheese over there. You know I had to make the joke at least once.
I'll give it to you once.
I just couldn't get over the big cheese. That one made me laugh. So, we are going to break down some of this week's Marvel comics as well as some Marvel news from the past week. I have some 2022 recap stuff I want to talk about pretty briefly as well. But let's start off with some comics. And we had a pretty good lineup this week. I was actually a little bit surprised at how much I enjoyed some of these titles. But let's start off with Shang-Chi and Master of the Ten Rings, number 10. Number 1, not number 10. That is the title of the book.
Number one of one.
Yeah. What did you think here?
I really like this one. The Shang-Chi story that sort of been evolving since like the movie came out. It's taken different courses, but we're getting somewhere. And this is the sort of end of that run. And it kind of takes it back to his father and kind of shows that the corruption his father had. And but what by the way, my pick of the week. But what do you?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I have been sort of up and down on this run that you were just talking about. We've kind of bounced in and out of it. We haven't been following it very closely, but I've liked some things about it, and then other times it's just gotten a little bit too complicated. This one, I think, really simplified things. I didn't expect to like this, to be honest, because of how up and down this whole run has been. And I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. It was time travel element. He meets his younger father, and they do some pretty cool stuff with that. So I like that. It simplified things, and really enjoyed this. Not my pick of the week because this was a really good lineup this week, but I did really like it.
Yeah, I would say it was. I think part of the reason it was my pick was because it was the biggest delta from expectation to quality. Like I didn't have high expectations, and I really liked it. And so it's one thing to get a great comic book that you're every time, but I really thought this was a great issue.
Yeah, I agree. And the characters that this run, I mean, it's weird to call it a run. It's been like 3 different titles at this point, but the characters that these stories have given us have been really enjoyable as well, and we get a lot of good stuff with them here. Real quick, couple comments. Hi, Steve. Oh, I think we both clicked it at the same time there. Hi, Steven. And then it is. I see it's Aiden's 18th birthday. Happy birthday!
Steven says, "Happy birthday, Aiden." Everyone's all having a great day. Happy birthday, man! 18. What would you give to be 18 again?
I don't know if I want to go back that far, to be honest. But
that's it's just there's something about like I've been Moira Taggart's making me think about this a lot. Like if I could redo knowing then what I do now, they always say youth is
that would definitely change things. Yes.
Yeah, like I've made stupid decisions when I was like dumb. All you young people, Aiden, everything you think you know everything. I'm going to tell you right now, you don't. You're making stupid decisions, not because you're stupid, but because you're young. You will. Anyone who lives their life that says, "Oh, I have no regrets," baloney. You should have regrets because no one does everything smart when they're 18.
By the way, I wish I still had that excuse for the stupid decisions I make today.
I know, right? I'm going to be 60 and be like, "Oh, that stupid stuff I did when I was 40."
All right, moving on to our next issue here. We're going to get into Gold Goblin number 3. And from your pick of the week to my pick of the week, I am really enjoying the stuff they're doing with Norman Osborn, really getting inside his head after all of his stuff with the Sin Eater. And, there's like a big philosophical question to this series right now. Like, you can atone for your sins, but can you really atone for the guilt that is going to be there left afterwards? And so it's definitely a very different vibe from the last issue that we just talked about. And it's definitely heavier, but at the same time, I think they're doing some fun stuff with this character, and I've really enjoyed it so far.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, and I'm a little over the Sin Eater thing, but
Yeah.
I felt they did it so well that it was okay. That that it was really interesting from Norman's perspective.
Mhm.
And you're right, like what's it mean to be absolved by your sins? Like that doesn't fix everything.
Right.
It doesn't make you feel better. It just means, I don't know what it even means in this context, but because that's part of the problem. But yeah, and giving your sins to somebody else, like what does that, like
Right.
how that could screw with people's psyche,
Yeah, and
especially when you're Norman Osborn. This isn't like me making a stupid decision when I was 18. This is like real heavy stuff. I didn't
yeah,
do anything Norman Osborn level stupid. Just to be clear.
I would hope not. That would be a completely different level, and that does bring up a point that I want to talk about. But also, just to shed some light on the lighthearted side of this issue, you do get Norman Osborn screaming at a Spider-Man impersonator at a birthday party, so that's fantastic. But this issue really brought up the question to me: is Norman Osborn, aka the Green Goblin, is he the most evil Marvel villain, like of all of them? I mean, he's definitely up there, right? I was having a hard time. Obviously, you can say someone like Mephisto,
Yeah,
something like that. But
I feel like he did terrible things, but there was always he did them for the right reasons. I mean, necessary. I mean, he was trying to do something good, and then he gets crazy by Goblin Serum. I
yes,
mean, you
yeah,
blame someone for Goblin Serum. I mean, this is sort of
right,
a
right,
weird question. Whereas opposed to you have like someone like Mephisto or even um, Kang or Thanos. When they're literally embracing their evilness. Um,
yeah.
you know,
Thanos at different times in the comics for sure, different from
yeah.
the film version most people are familiar with.
Yeah, I
Um,
think the film version is probably one of his most sympathetic
yes,
versions.
exactly, yeah,
In the comics where he literally just wants to like marry death. I mean, that's pretty dark. And then you
right,
have like, then you have just literal evil characters like Mephisto, like
yeah,
not trying to just score. I guess when I'm reading this Avengers run where it's just a bunch of like Red Skull level evil, like I
yeah.
would feel
That was
Red
another name that
Skull.
came to mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess you have to rule out Norman Osborn just limited to Green Goblin, but I
Yeah.
think he's definitely in the conversation, and this might make for an interesting ranked, like philosophical type of thing on Laughing Place in the future. I'll have to keep that in mind. But yeah, definitely enjoyed this issue of Gold Goblin. Enjoying what they're doing with this character, with this series, but also Dark Web as a whole. There's a whole lot going on. Well, funny enough, there's a lot going on in New York in two different like storylines right now. I'm not sure when these are taking place,
That's
but
right. You read Timeless last week. I was so refreshed to see Toronto because like
yes,
it's
yeah,
like
that's true.
I don't know why anyone in the Marvel universe lives in New York. It's just a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, things didn't look much better in Toronto, but then again, that was a different situation too. So, all right, let's move on to our third issue, and that is going to be Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty #8. This one featuring Emma Frost, as you can see right there on the cover. What did you think of this one?
I liked it. I liked where this was going. There was parts where, like, at the beginning, to me, like, I wasn't sure how Emma Frost kind of got involved in any of this. But at the same time, it all worked out in the end. Like, I like the second half more. I like the first half. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Hmm.
Um, you know, kind of building a team. Captain America building a team, which is essentially what this is a lot of fun,
Yeah.
and kind of harkens back to his past.
Yeah, I definitely really like this one. And again, not that I haven't enjoyed this series, I have, but we've kind of bounced in and out of it, like the Shang-Chi runs. So there's definitely some issues that I have to go back and catch up on. But so I didn't expect to really enjoy this one as much as I did, and I really liked it. I liked that they brought in Emma Frost. And I like the way that they did it too, right? Like we recently had recently, it's been months now, but the Hellfire Gala, the second annual Hellfire Gala in the X-Men comics. And Emma Frost has become a fascinating character for me. She was never really one of my favorites as far as men are concerned, but in the last couple of years, really, she's stepped up into a new exciting role. And, there's this funny bit with Cap talking about, there's this woman he knew from a party that owes him a favor. And Sharon's just like, just do it, Steve, just call her. So it was kind of funny the way that they set that up. And Cap and Emma's relationship is pretty funny right now too. So
I don't want to get too into the weeds here, but is it weird that I feel like between She-Hulk and this issue, we're getting to know Captain America a lot more than.
There's definitely some relationships that are different from Cap's, what we know about Captain America in general. His relationship, even with Sharon, I thought was a little bit weird here in this issue, but I like it. There's a little bit of a drama to it, so I like when they can throw in those, the troubled romantic relationships occasionally, for somebody other than Peter Parker.
I'm also a fan of anytime any version of MODOK shows up.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You can see him on the cover, kind of, and it's MODOK, not to be confused with MODOK. So keep that in mind as well.
It's a very important C.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely like this one, and I'd be interested to see where this goes. Like you said, Cap putting a team together, sort of very classic and very different team though. So we'll see how that goes. Couple more issues to talk about, and we've got Avengers number 64. We did Avengers Forever, about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. We're sort of in the battle of this whole, the Avengers Assemble combination story arc here. And we did Avengers Forever a couple weeks ago, and we both agreed it was just messy. It was hard to follow. The stakes were huge, and at the same time, we didn't care. It was a lot of characters that we didn't really know. They were from different universes, and this, to me, fixed every issue I had with Avengers Forever. This was what Avengers Forever could have been had we been invested in these characters. Did you feel the same way?
Yeah, I did. I have some nitpicking art things that I'm not gonna get super into, but I think this sort of redeemed the whole. Whatever you want to call it, the whole event, by giving us some by grounding it. It still has a lot. It's still packed with every page.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's you at least cared about him at this point.
Yeah, definitely. And there's some really, really great Tony Stark stuff in here. The joke about Tony and his daddy issues have been around forever, but there really comes to a head in this one. But it's fun to watch. I think, there's the right combination of joking, lighthearted Tony, but also some dark stuff mixed in there. The way that he ends that confrontation, I think, is one of them. And then you said you have some issues with some of the art. I thought there were some great visuals in here, though. The one thing Avengers Assemble has given us is some really awesome combinations of different characters. And we get one that I don't think I've ever seen before in this one that I really, really enjoyed. I won't spoil it. It doesn't last all that long, but it was really cool for the few pages.
I think that's the one though where I was a little disappointed. I wanted more of it. I felt like it was rushed. I mean,
yeah, I would have liked to see
more, but like if you're gonna do that, do it right, not just sort of show just a big version of him.
Right. Yeah, no, you're right. I would have liked to see that stretched out a little bit more. But, everything going on right now, everyone is sort of just a pawn on the board for Doom Supreme, and I'm really excited to see where that's going. Because this Doom has been one of the coolest villains, I think, in quite a while. So I'm excited to see what he finally does, because he's been in the shadows for quite a while now, and I really want to see what his move is. And our final issue of the week, a new series for the Scarlet Witch, for Wanda Maximoff herself. This was in the running for my pick of the week. I kind of thought it might be your pick of the week as well. I think it's definitely one of the bigger titles to be released in a while, and exciting. Wanda's obviously been in the spotlight in the MCU for a while. And, getting a new comic series just for this character is pretty exciting. So how do you like this one?
I really like this. I liked it a lot more than I thought. It's not, they didn't try and make it fit the MCU version. They didn't try and, which is sometimes them, they go through these great lengths to make it match the MCU. Sometimes, even though these characters have much longer histories and it doesn't make any sense. It's its own thing. You know, sort of like it's almost like at least this issue sets it up as sort of a different helper of the week kind of issue. You know, like someone comes into their office, like almost like a private eye with magic powers.
Yeah.
I think that's a really cool concept. I hope they stick with it. I hope they don't get, you know, sort of too serial with it, you know, which comics can do. Like just tell more stories like the one we had today, and that could last for a little bit. I mean, I know there's going to be things in the background that will build up to something. It's just the form, but I don't necessarily need this to always be an epic Scarlet Witch thing because her powers are too great to make that kind of stuff interesting. You know, you really need a mystery on it to really make, you know, something where she needs to figure it out as opposed to just pure power.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think seeing more of that human side, obviously her powers are a huge element of the story, but there's the human element of her in this. And, you know, you also get Darcy. We saw that Darcy was going to be a part of this and this is her Marvel Comics debut. Actually, she's only been an on-screen character to this point. So getting Darcy thrown in there was really cool as well. Yeah, I like that. I like the new costume. I like the look of it. You also have to enjoy a comic issue that takes a shot not only at New Jersey, not only at the DMV, but specifically the New Jersey DMV, which as someone who grew up in New Jersey and now lives in Florida, I can attest to the fact that the New Jersey DMV is just the worst. But yeah, I totally agree with this concept. I like the way that they're doing this, and I hope we get to see that, you know, they do set up a more serious story with the end of this. No spoilers, but so I'm interested to see where that goes, but I do hope they kind of keep it reined in and don't get so crazy with it. All right, so that is it for our comics this week. I want to take a look back real quick at 2022. We have a couple of posts that I put up on Laughing Place right now, or, you know, there you can check out right now, including a ranking of all of the Marvel projects, film and TV, streaming, whatever you want to call it.
Please tell me there's 12 because
there are 12. Actually, as far as I'm concerned, it even says this in the post. There are 11. This is unranked Morbius. I'm curious to see if you would move any of these rankings at all. I Am Groot number 11. Director by Night, I know you enjoyed. That's my number 10, and I have that right behind Assembled. I know Kyle specifically said he would switch those two.
Yeah, I would switch those two.
Okay. So that's Assembled is number 9. Moon Knight I have at 8. Miss Marvel at 7. Thor: Love and Thunder at 6. I know popular choice would probably be to slide that one behind the other two. Werewolf by Night is my number 5. She-Hulk: Attorney at Law number 4. The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special number 3.
Then I might swap She-Hulk and Guardians.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. And I did consider. I went back and forth on that for a while because She-Hulk, you know, was the more extended project. Obviously, you get a lot more of a story. I just think, you know, as far as the quality and what they had to work with, Guardians, I think hit, you know, as well as it possibly could have. So, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness number 2, and Black Panther: Wakanda Forever number 1. Take any other issues with that?
No, I think that's fair. I mean, you know, like I might have a slight variation, but I don't know.
Sure.
Like I didn't rank them, but I think that's, you know, there's nothing where I'm going, oh my gosh, how dare you?
There's no Eternals up there too high like last year, I guess. By the way, speaking of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, we did LP Movie Club on this last night. Benji, myself, and Jeremiah all broke down this movie in detail. You can go and check that out on the Laughing Place YouTube channel right now. Maybe not right now. Wait until we're done here and then go check it out.
Yeah, that's what makes sense.
The other thing I want to talk about from 2022, my whole recap of the year in comics from 2022. We have I tried to come up with a name for like the awards that I do for these comics. The Mackies was all I came up with, but I think Captain America might have an issue with that these days. So so we'll just stick to the best in comics. We have, you know, the best panel. I won't go through all of these, but I want to get, you know, sort of some of your thoughts here. Best panel. We have the best splash page, where really just kind of taking a look at some of the best art. The best cover, which was one of the most difficult decisions to make because there is some really incredible artwork from the past year. We have the best event, the best new series, and the best.
What's your best event?
My pick for best event was Judgment Day. There might have been some recency bias, and I think the competition for it for me was Devil's Reign, and the fact that that got broken up over the new year, 2021 into 2022, kind of hurt it a little bit. But yeah, I think I did enjoy Judgment Day quite a bit. But I did mention as well that this wasn't specifically a great year for big comic events, really. Like,
what's your best new series?
Best new series, I said, was I'll give you the whole the list of nominees here. We got Sentinel of Liberty, which we talked about in issue today. Strange Academy Finals, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a second. Secret Invasion, which kind of fits in with that as well. And then Strange, and the winner for me was Strange. I really have enjoyed this series. You know, it kind of undoes the importance of the Death of Doctor Strange event that we talked about last year. But I really liked what they were doing with Clea. And then the singular best issue here, we've got Strange Academy Finals #1. We got Dark Web #1. Judgment Day #1. And then Amazing Spider-Man #93. And the winner was, in a landslide for me, Strange Academy Finals #1. I even mentioned here, I wanted so badly to make this the best new series of the past year, but at the time only 3 issues had come out, so you know, probably need to give it a little bit more time to breathe there. But this issue absolutely like locked me in. I can't wait to see what happens with this series. Do you have any specifics? And I know it's tough to come up with off the top of your head.
It's hard to think back. I mean, I'm loving Secret Invasion. I mean, we haven't read it for this, but I've been reading on my own.
I think we did the first issue, and that was it so far.
Yeah.
Here.
So, I mean, I've been loving Dark Web too, but still kind of newish into it, so it's hard to fully judge it. But yeah.
Yeah, that's another one. Dark Web might fall victim like the same thing that Devil's Reign did with, you know, the event going from one year to the next.
Yeah, I might take Devil's Reign, even with the sort of choppiness of it. I probably would have taken Devil's Reign over Judgment Day.
Yeah, and that's fair. All right, let's jump into some Marvel news from the past week, and we will start off here. The big story since Sunday has been Jeremy Renner's recent accident and his recovery. He did share a message on his Instagram account yesterday, basically thanking everyone for the kind words and you know, throwing some humor in there. So it's good to hear. Good to hear his recovery is going well. He is conscious and speaking. So you know, good to hear there.
Yeah, that's what to me what matters is that he was able to do that. Let him.
Yes, exactly. We did get some exciting news this morning as far as Marvel is concerned. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever will begin streaming on Disney Plus on February 1st. There was a whole new little teaser released with it. Winston Duke was on Good Morning America. Did you get to see him, Benji?
I saw clips by GMA. You know, I'm in the West Coast, so GMA, by the time GMA gets here, it's 3 hours old. Right. So by the time I saw clips before GMA would have aired.
Yeah, Winston Duke is fantastic. He's so much fun. I recommend.
You just can't help but fall in love with him. Like, yeah, I mean, it's like he's obviously a very strong, powerful man, but is so sweet. Like, I mean, I don't want to like, you know, I don't mean that in any sort of pejorative way, but it's just like, I mean, just when you do an interview, you just want to hug him. Like, I mean, I remember watching him sing the Golden Girls theme song, like on some interview, and I'm just like, that's so cool. You know, you look scary. I mean, not you know, because you know you're playing M'Baku, right? You're supposed to be intimidating, and then you know you see him on interview, he's a lot less scary and just a lot more fun, and that's really cool. It's called acting, I guess. You know.
Right. Yeah, there's a moment in this interview where he's talking about, you know, going to school with Lupita Nyong'o and Denai Guerrera and them coming out and like thinking way back, and he was asked, you know, did you ever think then that you would get to where you are now? And he's like, well, I've always been incredible. So you know, just kind of laughs it off. But yeah, it was great. So I definitely recommend. You can check that whole interview out on Laughing Place right now with the announcement of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever coming to Disney Plus on February 1st. We also know we are getting a new trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania during the College Football National Championship game on Monday, January 9th. The Georgia TCU game, as everyone had it at the beginning of the season. I'm excited. I'm excited for this. At the same time, I kind of want this to be the last one. I don't know if they've said it is or not, but like I don't want to see much more. They've already kind of showed a lot.
Do you mean the last trailer or the last Ant-Man?
The last trailer, not the last.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
I think it will be. I mean, it comes out in 6 weeks. They'll do TV commercials and everything, but I don't think there'll be another trailer.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, there'll be TV spots and stuff, but yeah, definitely looking forward to it.
I don't know why you release a trailer in January. What are you attaching it to? Megan?
Good question. But again, new trailer January 9th, this upcoming Monday. We got some casting news for Agatha: Coven of Chaos, which feels like, this has been a staple in Marvel time. Every time we've done a show, there's always a new addition to the cast. Deborah Jo Rupp from that 70s show, mostly, but from WandaVision, reprising her role as Mrs. Hart. As you can see her there with the lobster on the door and everything. I like what they're doing here we talked about this a little bit on LP Movie Club last night as well. They've added this incredibly talented, very funny cast, but also are bringing back some of the actors from WandaVision as well. So I like what they're doing with this. I've been getting more and more excited for Agatha. The character is great, but this hasn't been a project that I've been really excited for because I don't know where they're possibly going to go with it. I don't know how much this expands the MCU, but we'll see where it goes. I like the talent that is involved for sure.
Yeah, I just am excited because the origin story for Agatha wasn't that interesting to me. Like, when you saw her, the flashback, I was like, okay, she's some evil, like, power hungry lady, right? Okay. But I want to see more sort of Agatha all alongness, and this kind of gives me hope for that. Like, I want it to be fun. I mean, it's Cats and Han, it can't be that not fun. Like, but but that is anyway. I'm excited to see. I'm actually, what is most exciting about it is it's like, this is obviously them listening to the fans, like they're responding to it. It's not like, we have a bulletin board here in Kevin's office and like, this is a show that I think wouldn't have existed if Agatha didn't become Agatha, the phenomenon that she became.
Yeah, no, totally agree. And I think, you mentioned Catherine Hahn. I think she has a lot to do with it as well, because she really took that character and made her her own. So, was there any talk? This has always been in production as a series, right? Was there any talk of it being a special presentation?
No, I don't think so. I mean, there's rumors out there that, they're moving more towards special presentations and away from series. I think, be careful what you read. But no, I think this probably warrants especially since it's sort of a WandaVision spinoff. I think it makes sense for it to be in that same form.
I think with the cast they've built as well, it's kind of hard to cram so many, notable names into what would be roughly 45 minutes long, something like that. So on the animation side of the Marvel Universe, we got a new sneak peek at Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur coming to Disney Channel February 10th, and then Disney Plus shortly thereafter. This new sneak peek shows a clip from an episode that neither of us have seen yet, I don't think, right? I think you also only saw the first episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this was from a different episode featuring a villain known as Gravity, and then also featuring a song from Childish Gambino. So I like that they threw that in there. Donald Glover has plenty of Marvel ties, so it was cool to see him on the soundtrack for this show. And this clip really captures the vibe of this show, I think. So check this out. It's maybe 3 minutes long, if that, 2 minutes, something like that. You can check it out on Laughing Place right now. If you enjoyed this clip, you're definitely going to want to check out the show, because this really captures the humor, the color, the energy, everything. It all comes together right in this 3 minutes. So you'll get a really good idea of what to expect from the show. And we do have some merchandise as well. Roosevelt's released a new line of Marvel flannels, and have you checked these out yet?
No, I saw it come across our desk, but I didn't get a chance to take a peek.
Yeah, they're really cool. So there's a Thor, Black Panther, and then you can see here the Loki and the Wanda Scarlet Witch flannel there. So there's details. There's the characters down the side, as you can see on that left side there, and then the collar. As you flip the collar up, there's some hidden details in there, and that's different with each one. So it's really cool. I like the way they did this. And Kyle specifically mentioned that the Roosevelt's flannels are very comfortable as well.
So. Yeah, that's what I wanted to. I mean, I haven't seen. I'm curious to kind of how it feels like.
Yeah, I haven't tried their flannels at all. I can speak to their polos; those are very comfortable. Yeah. And then a lot of the LP staff has quite a few of the shirts. I know Jeremiah really likes the button downs as well. So they got some really great stuff over there. Now we will end with some comic book news. We learned that Hulk number 14 will be coming in April, sort of the finale of this Planet Hulk, or Hulk Planet. Sorry, I keep mixing those up. Hulk Planet.
How dare you?
Story arc. Yeah, that's been going on, and this is going to include the release of Titan, an all-powerful villain. Where have I heard that before? So this should be interesting. Again, that's coming in April. No specific date for it just yet. We also have, to kick off the new year, some brand new Marvel Infinity comics on Marvel Unlimited. A couple of them are available already right now. X-Men Unlimited, Avengers Unlimited, and then what's today? The 4th. Tomorrow we've got Love Unlimited, Karma in Love will be released. And then Spider-Verse Unlimited coming on January 10th. And Marvel's Voices, Crescent, and EO Infinity comic number 33 coming January 11th. So a couple more next week. I love that how much they are really putting out there with these Infinity comics. Just another reason to want to subscribe to Marvel Unlimited, which we can't recommend enough. If you want to get into reading Marvel comics, this is the way to do it. And finally, as if you didn't have enough reasons, if I didn't just lay out enough reasons for you to check out Marvel Unlimited, they've also shared a look at a new members kit. So if you sign up for the annual membership for $69, you not only get the year of, what is the number up to now, 20,000 plus comics, digital comics on Marvel Unlimited, you also get this collection of merchandise when you sign up. And this includes a limited edition Hasbro Marvel Legends Daredevil figure, not available anywhere else. You get the Axe Eve of Judgment #1 Peach Momoko variant cover, a Daredevil litho. You get a Captain America Sam Wilson shield patch, and a classic Daredevil pin by Scotty Young. So some really cool stuff thrown in there with your new Marvel Unlimited membership. And as you can check out, there's a link to it in this post on Laughing Place. We have a guide on what to do with your Marvel Unlimited membership. It's a lot. When you get into Marvel Unlimited for the first time, there's, seemingly infinite comics that you can jump into, but we have a guide to sort of help you out, give you an idea of where you should start off with your subscription.
Fun times.
That's everything from the past week in Marvel. Am I missing anything? Anything else pop up in the last few minutes?
No, I'm just checking. No, I think we're pretty good. We're pretty set.
I heard Doobie on the LPTV news update earlier describe this time period as the storm after the calm. We did have a little break from news for a little while, but now it's been sort of all dropping back in. So always a possibility that more stuff is breaking at any moment.
Yeah, it's everyone's getting back, and it's and we're also waiting for a lot of shoes to drop on things we know is coming soon, and we're just waiting for it. So, but I think it's interesting. I think really the big thing we're waiting for is Monday night for the college football playoff championship game for Quantumania. I just happened to be watching the Fiesta Bowl, I guess, and then saw the ad running on replay over and over again on Monday, or I guess it would be Saturday night. So excited to see that, and you'll be here to watch it, recap it, talk about it.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. All right, great. Well, that's gonna do it for us from Marvel Time. What else do we have going on LP YouTube channel, Benji? And you have the schedule.
Well, I think this is our last scheduled show today. You never, we always break in when news breaks. But if you're watching us on LPTV, we've got, we will be rerunning our Laughing Place Movie Club later today on Wakanda Forever. Also, Barely Necessities, and celebrating this day in Disney history, including the Dream arriving in Port Canaveral, the Shared Dream Come True Parade's final performance anniversary, Dave Foley's birthday with an interview from him, some Three Kings stuff. So we got some other things coming that you can just keep watching LPTV for the rest of the night with some stuff that ties into the day, as well as if news breaks, we'll pop back in and discuss it.
Awesome. And we will have a full review of, if you're interested in reading more about that Scarlet Witch comic that we talked about, we'll have a full review up on Laughing Place shortly as well. So you can check that out. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.